Damn. When I tell you, we are not doing any of the things that we had planned for today. What can I say? So I had a bunch of things that I was gonna do today, right? Truthfully, truthfully, I was gonna take you guys out. We were gonna hit the beach. We are probably gonna go on a hike, get some fucking Pokeballs, and just live our local boy fantasy, right? Our local Hawaii boy fantasy, right? I woke up not wanting to do any of it, not wanting to do any of that shit. I was like, I took one look out the window and I was like, nah, like, I've had a pretty rough week. I feel like every time I fucking come on here, I always open up with, damn, I've had a rough week, okay? But listen, I low key had a pretty rough week. If it's not mentally, it's physically. And we'll get into that later. But I woke up today and I was like, what would actually make me happy, right? So Wingstop, Wingstop. So that's what we're gonna do today. We are gonna just order us a fuck ton of Wingstop, like how I used to do before, and we're just gonna, have ourselves a little mukbang type style video, and we're just gonna relax today because, like I said, I did not want to go outside. I don't want to leave my house. Oh, not me grabbing my titty. Sorry. I did not want to leave my house. So we're just gonna order us a bunch of Wingstop and we're just gonna talk. We're just gonna talk because I've been having some thoughts that I don't think I've ever actually told anybody. So why not? What better place to get out the thoughts that I've never actually shared with anybody on camera, you know what I mean? Because that is what we do. We don't tell anybody our thoughts and we just trauma dump on camera. So that is exactly what we're gonna do today. So let's just get right into it, shall we? Okay, so boom, I have Wingstop pulled up right here. And then, like I feel like going all in today, you know what I mean? Like I was a good boy. I paid everything that I needed to pay for. So let's just treat ourselves, Because like I said, this week has just been kicking my ass, like how it always does. So let's just go right into it. I don't even know what I'm gonna get. Let's see, what did I used to get when I was like before when I used to order this shit all the time. Okay, you know what? I think we're gonna go in with the ten wing combo. Yep. We are gonna do the mix and match. No, actually, we're not gonna do that. No, are we gonna do that? Let's see. Let's see. What sounds good? You know. Okay. All right. What are your guys' Wingstop orders? I think I want to go with. Oh, no, I gotta do it to him. I gotta go with the garlic parm because that just sounds really. How many pieces do I get? I get 10. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we're gonna do the garlic parm, 5 piece, and then let's see what else do they have the Mexican street rub? No, they. Damn, I fucking hate when like places drop like really good shit on their menu and then they take it away. Damn. Wingstop used to have this like Mexican street rub that was so good, but I guess they had to just edge us like that and take it away. All right, so we're gonna do lemon pepper and we're gonna do garlic parm. And for the dip, obviously you have to go with a large ranch because we're fat as fuck. Large ranch, and let's see. What should our sides be? Let's see. We can do Louisiana voodoo fries, or we can do buffalo ranch fries. All right. What do you think I should get? What's better? I don't- I never know which one to. Okay, you know what? We're gonna do buffalo ranch fries because fuck it. Should we do? Well, nah. I don't need to be well done. Let's just save it as is. All right. And I don't need a drink because I don't drink soda. All right. Let's do that. And you know what else we're gonna add? You know what else? Because I'm not done. we need the where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Sides. Okay, we need the Cajun corn. This one right here. We need that shit. Okay. Ah, I'm so excited. Okay. Let's see. Seasoning on the corn. Ah, lemon pepper seasoning. Yep. That's the only valid choice. Okay. Boom. So I have the 10 wings, the lemon pepper, and the garlic parm with the large buffalo ranch, and with the large buffalo ranch fries. And we're gonna do the Cajun fried corn. Ah, doesn't that look so good? Okay, let's continue. All right, the damage has been done. Oh, I'm so excited. Now, just gonna vibe out, continue listening to Joji until the food gets here, and when it does, we're gonna have our little chat. Because, like I said, I just really feel like I have a lot of shit going on up in here, and I just want to talk about it. So I hope that that's okay. So, you know what? I will see you guys when the food gets here. Maybe I can do a cool transition. Ready? Three, two, one. Food's here. I hope that that little transition thing looks good in editing. So I don't know, but we'll see. All right, I am really freaking hungry, so let's just get right into it. So the first thing we got is the corn. Damn, they loaded that shit. Oh, okay, all right. And then the second thing is obviously the fries. Okay, and then oh, they like upgraded their containers or whatever. Ooh, okay, all right. Okay, the person who came to like deliver the food, oh my God, he had like a little dog. Well, he wasn't a little dog. He was like a pretty big dog, like in the back seat. And he was like the dog was like trying to come up to me and like say hi, and he was so cute. Okay, definitely the highlight of my day so far. Oh, and yes, I did get one, two, three, four, five, six. Six ranch sauces. All right. I'm really excited. I haven't gotten Wingstop in like a long time. Like I used to have this like tradition where I would like go to this PC cafe to like play games and shit, and then after like on my like literally in the Uber on my way home. Hold on, shut up. Mm, okay. And like in the Uber on the way home, I would like already have DoorDash open and like be like ordering my fucking wing. Oh, is it kind of dark? Hold on, pause. Okay, I don't know if that actually made it any better, but like I was saying, I used to like literally have DoorDash open on my way home from like playing games or whatever, and I would like already be putting my Wingstop order so that by the time I got home, that shit was ready for me. Okay, this is I think the garlic parm. Let's get right into that. Mm. Oh my God, bro, they put crack in this. I swear to God, it's so good. I think I don't know. Is Wingstop considered fast food? Do you guys consider it fast food? Because like it kind of is, but it's like my favorite fast food. And yeah, I do use chopsticks because I'm not the killer. I can't just raw dog that shit with my hands. That's nasty. No offense if you do that, but yeah. Oh my God, you know, I think it was like earlier this week, dude. When I tell you, I was fighting my for my life this week, dog. Okay, so it was free food day at work, and for some fucking reason, okay, the place that my boss wanted to order from was freaking L&L. I don't know if you guys have that where you are. I know it's in Hawaii and it's in like Central Valley. like Northern California and all that kind of stuff. But like if you don't know what that is, it's like a local spot like that sells like local food and shit. And every time I go there, every time I get sick. Okay. Like it had been like a while since I've been there. And like the last time I went, I was actually kind of young and I was like getting it from like a different location. So I was like, okay, you know, it's been a while since I've gotten food from there. It's a different location. So maybe I won't get sick this time. Because the first time, like a really long time ago, I got Eleanor from this like janky ass location inside of a Walmart. That should have been the first red flag. But I got Eleanor from this place, like the store. Oh my god, the store was inside of a Walmart, and I got this plate. It was like fish, like garlic fish and rice and mac salad. That sounds buzz, does it not? When I tell you, I like the next day I was like projectile vomiting. Okay, the whole day. And ever since then, I had like kind of like chilled out on Elena. I was like, okay, maybe this place just isn't for me, whatever. But so, and then fast forward until like last week. Huh. I'm like, okay, I don't like Elena, but no, my fat ass isn't gonna say no to free food. So I was like praying. I was like, okay, different location, many years later, maybe it'll be different. It was not. It was not. I get my food, right? I got the fish again, by the way, because every time, like, no matter what I eat, if it's whether it's like the chicken katsu or the fish, I always get like a really sore stomach, and like I don't eat like red meat too often, so like I can't get any of that. So I got the fish again, bitch. Tell me why I opened the plate, grease, the whole plate, grease. Like I was in the break room, I opened up the plate, you can see the oil just sitting at the top. I was like, oh hell no. But I was hungry, okay? I was hungry and like I had already ordered the food. I'm not gonna like throw out like a whole ass plate of food. That's like so like wasteful or whatever. So I eat this damn food, right? I kid you not, within like 20 minutes of eating, I am shitting on the toilet. And it's not just like a ooh, like I just ate, like let me clear out my body or whatever. No, it was like I was fighting for my life, okay? And that wasn't the first time either. So this is so TMI. Okay, so I bombed the toilet. I bombed the toilet. I'm like, okay, maybe that was it, right? Wrong. Mm-mm. Within like 15, 20 minutes later, I'm back on there. And oh my God, it was just like the worst experience. And like I had to leave work early that day because I was like, I could not, like, I felt like I was either going to continue shitting myself or I was going to like throw up. Right. So I leave work early. And then as soon as I had to Uber home too. I usually walk home, save money. You know what I mean? Save money, get my steps in. But this time I was like, okay, I don't want to be like on my way home, like in the middle of like nowhere, and like all of a sudden I have to shit. Because then what am I gonna do? Like, okay, there's a lot of people who just like shit on the sidewalks here. Hey, no hate or whatever, but I could not be one of those people who just like pull my pants down and just like, you know, do that. So, oh, okay, fuck it. I'm gonna just Uber home. And like, I Uber home. As soon as I get home, strip my pants off, sit on the toilet, explode that shit. 3 times. I was like, damn, some people are built different, where they can handle like really oily food. I apparently cannot. So yeah, that was my like I don't know if it was like food poisoning or if I'm just like sensitive. Good. Come on. I haven't even touched the corn yet. Let's get into that. I think where did I get? Did I get lemon pepper? I think I did. Okay, hold on. Well, let's taste it and find out. Okay, this is hard to do with chopsticks actually. Mm, damn, that's so good. You know, once my friends see this, they're probably gonna be mad jealous at me. Well, jealous of me because they like Wingstop too, and I'm not sharing. I'm not. Damn. Okay, wait, you know what? Fuck it. For this, I have to use my hands because, like, hmm you know, when I went downstairs to go get my food, it was like raining. So it was a good thing that I just like decided not to leave my house today. Because who wants to go all the way to the beach just for it to be raining? Like, no. Mm, shit. Hmm, hello. Hold on. You guys want to see my cat? Mm. His name is Joji. Yes, after the singer. When I adopted his ass like 2 years ago, his name was George, and I was like, oh, that's perfect. I can change it to Joji. I'm not obsessed. I'm not obsessed with. Oh my god. Okay. Anyways, but yeah, he's cute. He's the love of my life. I love him so much. I have another cat sitting in the kitchen, but you know she's old. She's like turning 11 this year. He's only 2, so you know she kind of just vibes by herself. I try to play with her, but you know I think she's just old, so she kind of just chills in there. You know, Huh. This was a great decision actually. Hold on, let's take a coffee break. Who the fuck eats Wingstop and drinks coffee? The killer does. The killer, that's killer. That's psychopathic activity right there. But hey, I'm home, so if I have to explode the toilet, I'm right here. You know? Oh, I hate. Oh my God, this whole this whole video is gonna just turn into like a shitting. But like, I hate when I have to shit at work. You know why? Because the bitches that I work with are so nasty. They are. Okay, like I can't tell you how many times I've had to walk into a stall to either see it clogged and they didn't do anything about it. They clogged the toilet, they leave it there. What? Dude, they be so for real, dog. Like, oh my god. And they stink too. Like, like, it's like these bitches never heard of like spray, you know what I mean? Right down. Oh yeah, sorry, that was my phone. My friends are texting. Sorry. Oh yeah. Anyway, not to like ignore them or anything. You know, I love them. I love them down. But yeah, this is my Wingstop time, uninterrupted. Okay, but like I was saying, it's like these bitches never heard of like spray. Like, oh my god, like this is my first time, like pretty much, or like ever, or like in a really long time working. My bad. My first time like working. Damn, damn little lady, you sure can put it away. Okay, This is like my first time ever, like really working in an environment with like pretty much just only straight men. And when I tell you, I have never felt more violent rage in my life. Oh my god, those fucking bitches drive me crazy. And you know what? It's like not just the fact that they're straight men and they're super fucking entitled. Okay, it's the fact that like I'm like one of the youngest people there, and these bitches just feel like they can just boss me around like this is home. Okay, it drives me crazy. Like you know, like that feeling of like when people who aren't even your boss. Oh, what you looking at? Okay, it's like like that feeling of like when bitches who aren't even your boss talk to you like they are your boss. Ooh, damn. You know, but hey, what are you gonna do about it? There's nothing that you really can do, I guess. It just helps to like talk about it. Damn. I feel like I don't really handle my anger very well. Well, I don't hide it very well either. But yeah. Hold on. Oh my god. Hold on. I have to go back in. You know what I find so weird is that like sometimes when you go out to eat with people and there's like sauces, you know how like some people would just like dip, dip, dip into a sauce? Like I don't know, like that's kind of weird to me. Like whenever like like I dunk my shit in there. You know what I mean? Like I'm such a sauce person. I don't know. It just like some people aren't. Some people aren't sauce people. But I just like I have to like ooh, I have to get in there. You know what I mean? Hmm. Oh my God. So like what I really wanted to like kind of like talk about today is like stuff that I don't think I've ever really like brought up with like other people before. It's like yeah, I'm not like depressed or anything. Okay, and, like this isn't like a oh I'm like depressed kind of conversation. Like oh I have to like bottling this shit up. No, it's just like I feel like it's like an interesting conversation that I've just like never really had with anybody. But so like I was like rewatching like an old podcast episode from like this like person that I watch all the time, and it was a very interesting episode. So she was talking about how like one of her friends was like involved in like this really bad hit and run, right? He was like on a motorcycle just trying to get home, and he was involved in like this really bad hit and run, and he had like a near death experience. Okay, now the whole episode was basically talking about spirituality and religion and all that stuff, right? And I don't know, I just find it very interesting to like listen to people talk about that kind of stuff because if I'm being like 100%, like I was raised like when a Sunday school, I was raised like I was like supposedly raised to be like religious, right? I even like when I like became an adult, I even like went with my like aunties to like church and whatever. But I don't know, like for some reason it just like never really stuck with me. And so it was just like really interesting hearing her talk about like her experiences and how just like various things in her life kind of like solidified the fact that for her, you know, otherworldly things exist, right? Like we don't just exist in the material world, we exist, there's so much more out there. But she said this one thing. Hold on. I actually I had to write it down because I was like, damn. So she said this thing, and I have never heard like anybody else, like anybody who is like spiritual or religious. I've never heard anybody else say this. Okay, so let me read to you what she said. She said, being someone who doesn't believe in anything is the best way to live. If you're able to convince yourself that nothing else exists, that's the best way to live because there's no anxiety. Your life is probably a whole lot more calm and smoother. You know? And like, okay, I was like thinking about this for like a really long time, okay? Like like her saying that like really stuck with me for like weeks after I had heard it. And I had to just go back earlier today and like rewatch that episode just so that I could like jot down exactly what she said. But the reason why that stuck with me, one, is because I had never heard anybody who is religious or spiritual like say that about like the others, like people like me who aren't. But the other thing that I was like, what? Is like, if I'm being honest, like, okay, the Reddit atheists are gonna hate me for this, okay? But if I'm being honest, I completely disagree. I completely disagree. Like, as someone who is like seemingly unable to like find my way to spirituality or like religion, who has like read about it, studied it, was submersed in that shit as a kid, attended like, church on Sundays like multiple times throughout my adult life, and I've like never been able to like really like unlock the door to all of that. I was like, no. Like honestly, like I think the opposite. Like from my perspective, I find like the complete opposite to that to be true. But like, hear me out, okay? I find that like from my perspective to be very untrue, or at least from my perspective that we have it like easier, or that it's like better to live your life as a person who only who just doesn't think about any of that, who doesn't believe in any of that. Because like I find like in my personal opinion, this shit's lonely, dog. Like it is like everybody talks about how like you know when we die, and like you if you've lived your life as like a good person, then you'll like go to heaven, and you'll be in this like magical place where like there's no pain, there's no disease, there's no anything. Like all of your loved ones who have passed will be there waiting for you, and like I wish so bad that I believed in that, right? Because I've had like relatives pass away before, and when I tell you that for me personally, like once they passed, I never saw them. Like I don't know if it's just me, but like I would always hear people say like, oh, your relatives or anybody in your life who like passes away, that they'll always be with you in some way, shape, or form, right? Either you will be able to, they'll come visit you, like, you'll be able to see them, or you'll be able to like just feel their presence, or you'll like hear their voice. Like, my mom used to tell me before that when her mom died, she would always hear the voice of her mom basically like guiding her through her life, right? And it's just like, damn, like I wish that I like could unlock that part of my brain that just lets me experience all of that. Because like when my auntie passed away like a while ago when I was a kid, like I didn't experience anything, like people were telling me, oh, like it's okay, like she'll always be here with you, blah blah blah. I don't know, like and that's why like to me, like yeah, maybe people like us, people who like aren't really so much involved in like spirituality or religion, maybe in a way we don't really worry as much about certain things. Like I just try my best to live my life the best way that I can. I try not to lie, I try not to cheat, steal, hurt people, all of that kind of stuff, right? The supposed 10 commandments or whatever. But I feel like at the same time it comes at a cost because like yeah, maybe I'm not super anxious about what happens after we die, but in my opinion that comes at such an incredible cost because while I'm not anxious about any of that, I don't feel connected to it either. And like, I would hear people who are like spiritual and stuff talk about like, oh, like all of your like relatives and your friends and your loved ones, they look down on you from the heavens or whatever, and they're always with you. And it's like, baby, when I look up, I see nothing. Like I'm not trying to be like depressing or like or whatever, but like I don't know. Like, damn. Hold on. I've been like fucking playing around with this fry. Let me just hold on. Um, what like really kind of like made me even more so want to talk about this was I was sitting on the couch watching a Golden Girls episode with my mom. That's like my favorite comfort show. Everybody probably knows what that show is, right? So I was sitting there watching Golden Girls with my mom, and it was this like very specific episode about how there was like an elderly couple, and they were trying to basically she was dying, right? The woman in this couple, she was dying, and she was basically trying to find like a replacement for herself when she passed so that her husband wouldn't be left alone. And so they go through this whole thing where they try to like recruit Sophia, one of the main like characters, into their like little throuple type situation, right? And like at the end, you know, Sophia, she says, I can't do this, right? Like the way that you're looking at me, or no, sorry, the way that you look at her, you would never be able to look at me like that. And at at first, the woman who was trying to like get her into this like gets upset, and she was like, saying how hard it was to find you and how much time we've wasted. And at the end, she like talks to her husband and she says like, I just feel so guilty for leaving me. And he looks at her and he says, it's okay. You don't have to feel guilty for leaving me because I'll be along soon enough. And damn, bro, like, like, isn't that such a comforting way to think? Like, isn't that so, like, to, like, know that just because someone that you love is dying and they won't, like, be here anymore physically, that in the future, when your time comes, you guys will, like, be reunited. Like, isn't that, it's so comforting, and it's, like, sometimes it makes me, like, jealous of the people who are very spiritual and are very religious because they just have that comfort of like knowing that like when they pass on that they'll be able to like get reunited with the people in their lives who are no longer here you know let's eat another corn. And yeah, like that's why like to me I genuinely don't feel like I genuinely just like don't feel that like people like me who are like you know agnostic or atheist or whatever like fucking title like I don't think genuinely that we have it like better. That's why like, it was so like shocking to me when she said that. When like the person that I was like watching on the podcast when she said that. And not only not only like when you are religious or spiritual, like not only do you feel like you have like friends and family like waiting for you up there, but you also have God. You have God waiting for you up there, and like not even just like waiting for you up there, but like you know whenever like people who are religious, whenever they're going through like really rough shit, they always know that like they have someone to turn to if they feel like they have nobody else, right? And again, it's just like that feeling of comfort knowing that like you're never truly alone. And like that's another thing that I feel like is like that like we don't have when it's like, when I've been through like really really rough shit, like stuff that I just like wasn't able to like really open up like to the people in my life, like like I don't really have that problem anymore. Like a lot of times when I am going through stuff, I can just like open up. But like there was like times when I would just be going through like just really rough times, and I felt like I had no one to. Oh, sorry. Like no one to really like turn to, no one to, and like I can't pray because bitch, who am I gonna pray to? Like I don't have that. You know what I mean? So it's like I just had to like rough it out by myself. And that was just like another thing that I feel like people who are religious, they don't have to really deal with, because even if they don't have anybody like in their physical life, they always have like a God that they can pray to. Oh, like I said, like it doesn't like make me sad so much, but I just thought that it was like very interesting to like hear the perspective of somebody who like who is different than me, because usually especially online, like it's either people who like are religious who like look down on people who aren't, or vice versa. You got the Reddit atheists who are atheists and they shit on people who are religious. You know what I mean? Like I've never really heard the perspective of somebody who is religious and thinks that like the other side has it like better or easier, or like not easier, but like that we have it like we live in like more comfort, I guess, because of like the lack of, like, to use her words, like the lack of anxiety. Like we don't really worry about what we can't see or feel. Um, I just thought that like that was like a really interesting podcast. Shit. And I just find it strange. Like I don't know, like really, like I haven't done like too much research into it, but like like there's so many people out there who are spiritual, who are religious. It's like human beings have believed in like otherworldly shit since the beginning of time. You know what I mean? But I just find it really interesting that like there's a lot of people who also aren't, and I just don't really know, like you know or like people like me, right? Like I have tried to immerse myself into all of that, you know, to find comfort in religion, spirituality. There was even a time when I was a kid that I used to genuinely pray or try to pray. I didn't know if anybody was listening to me, but I used to try. Um, but I don't know. It's like the older I get, I don't know what else that I can do. I feel like maybe kind of like my identity as a gay person, that there's nothing I can do about that. Maybe that's just how it is with my identity as like an agnostic or like a non-believer. I guess like maybe there is just nothing. Maybe I was just low key born like this. you know, maybe I was just born different or whatever. But like I don't know, man. And something else that I thought was like really interesting about that podcast when I was listening to it. She was saying that like um when she was like taking shrooms and shit, like she was taking like a lot of shrooms, and like she actually saw like Hindu gods. Like she like oh like she didn't even know the name of this like one particular goddess that she saw, right? But she took like a bunch of shrooms and she wanted to know, you know, she asked this goddess person, how do I get into heaven? She wanted to know how she could get there. And what's so weird is that like this like she had never seen like this goddess figure before. She had no idea who she was. But after when she came out of that trip, she Googled like she tried to like put the like describe like what she's like what the goddess looked like and shit. And bitch, she was real. Like what? Like like that was like she saw like I don't know, like she was like real and shit. Like that's weird. Like so again, it's like, you know, I'm not gonna like sit here and like say that none of that shit is true, you know? Because like I don't know, for all I know, maybe other stuff does like genuinely exist. Maybe there is like more to this world than what we can like see, but I don't know. I like the only experience like I've had like multiple experiences on shrooms, but I've never had anything like that. Well, mind you, I've never taken such a high dose as what she said she did. But like, I don't know. Mine's have always just been like really chill, really calm. Like it would just like help like my body like not ache so much because I have like a lot of body pain. But like none of my experiences like trying like shrooms was ever like spiritual, and that like I'm low key like kind of jealous of like the people who can take like like psilocybin or like other stuff like that and have these like really cool experiences. And like I just don't know like how they do it. I don't know. Like do you already have to go into the trip already being like really open minded or like already having like a preconceived notion of like other things being able to exist outside of like the material world, or like is my mind just like too fucking closed? or something. Like, I don't know. I've had such like a love hate relationship with like religion and spirituality. Like, I feel like I was like super open to it as a kid, and then when like my auntie passed away, like when I was younger, that's when I was just like, you know what, like fuck all this. I was so angry. I was like, fuck this, like there's no world in which like a god exists that he could just allow something so terrible. Oh yeah, for those who don't, well, I guess nobody knows because I've never talked about it. But like my auntie passed away from cancer like a while ago. Um, so like I was like, you know what, like fuck all this. Like there's no way that like a god could exist and like he just allows something bad to happen. Like and then ever since then, I kind of like I went through like a phase. It's kind of like embarrassing to say, but it's kind of embarrassing to say. But like during my like teenage years and shit, and like even like my like early 20s, I went through this like hella like Reddit atheist phase. I was like, nah, like fuck all that, like that's like bullshit, like like none of that's real, blah blah blah, and like which is like so embarrassing now that I think about it. So you know, I still can't say that I like believe in any of that, right? Like when I was a kid, I was a lot more open to it, but I feel like that experience like perma changed like my brain. And ever since then I haven't really been able to go back to it. And like I'm not still like as angry as I was, obviously, because that was like a really long time ago. But I don't know, it's like no matter how much I like learn about it, study it, read it, watch movies about it, I don't know. Like I just can't I don't know. Mm, perspective. I couldn't think of the word. I just can't like see from the perspective that they do. And I don't know, maybe that's why I like went through my like Reddit atheist phase when I was younger, because like I wanted to so badly to be able to like feel the things that like religious people felt. I wanted to be able to feel that connection to the person that I had lost. And so maybe that's why like low key I was like so angry and why I like went through that phase. But yeah, I don't know. Like it is what it is. I probably will never be able to have that like perspective. Like no matter how hard I try or how much like books I read on the topic, I can respect it now. Like I'm not into that like whole like oh like fuck you like that it's so dumb. Like I don't think that anymore. Okay, like I know my family's gonna see this. I don't. You guys were always different. Okay, I I never thought badly about any of you guys, and certainly not anymore. Okay, like don't be mad. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was like very interesting, and I'd like been wanting to, I guess, like talk about it for a while. It was just like marinating on the brain, for a little while, and I don't know. I've never like my friends and I, we don't really like talk about this kind of stuff. So like I never really like brought it up to them, but damn, I've just been talking and eating for like 45 minutes. Damn. Bro, it feels like I just sat down. Doesn't it feel like I just sat down? Damn. I'm not even like close to finishing any of it. But you know what? Let's see how much we can actually finish. Damn. I still have like four sauces too. Did I order too many sauce? I don't know. Mm. You know, yeah, I'm really glad I did not go out today. I was well, I think I mentioned this earlier. I was gonna like live out like my freaking local Hawaii boy fantasy today. I was gonna like go out, go on like a nice little hike, probably end up at the beach, and get like fucking poke bowls or whatever. But it's been like really rainy. It said that it was gonna rain. Like yesterday, it said that today it was gonna rain, but I didn't think it was, and then it did. So, which is good because I have a legitimate excuse to not leave my house today. You know, it's like kind of funny how much I can talk, considering that there's no actual person like sitting right in front of me. Like I have no one to like bounce back off, bounce back off, and yet I can still talk for like 45 minutes straight without shutting up. Maybe I was meant to do this. Who knows? You know, like at first I was like, oh my god, I don't know, I don't know how they do it. I don't know how these like people who make videos do it. Like they just talk to their camera and they can just talk for so long. Like I feel like I would run out of things to talk about. Boy, not me. I can just fucking keep going and going. Oh. Mm. You know what? I've been watching like a stupid amount of vlogs, specifically IKEA vlogs, and damn, you know, living. Okay, no offense, no offense. If anybody from Hawaii sees this, no offense, but living here fucking sucks. I can't lie, it does. Like we don't have any of the good shit. You know what I mean? Like we don't have what is that fucking I don't know, like we just don't have any of the good shit here. Like we don't have Trader Joe's, we don't have IKEA, we don't have like good Mexican restaurants here. Like every time I go to California, I always have to like stop at all those places because like I just wish we had them here, you know. Like IKEA is so cool, man. I could spend so long in there. You know, the last time I had like a friend trip to to back to SF. Like the last time that we all went together, we went to Trader Joe's. Fuck, not Trader Joe's. We went to IKEA, and okay, we like we kind of like took like edibles before we went. All right, because like hello, it's Trader Joe's. Fuck. I must want my fucking big back must want Trader Joe's right now. I'm Trader Joe's food. I keep saying Trader Joe's, IKEA, because you take edibles before you go to IKEA, and it's a fun time, bitch. Okay, this guy that we were with, he was like friends. He was friends with like one of my friends, right? So he was like kind of tagging along or whatever. This guy, he took a shit ton of edibles. He planted himself in one of the chairs. And he was just for I don't even know how long. But bro, you want to talk about religion and God? That bitch was seeing God. He might have been seeing some fucking devils too. But damn, ugh. I love California. To be honest, like that is where I have to end up. Like from the first time I ever went, I was like, damn. How it's like every time when you go somewhere new, you're like, oh my god, should I live here? But then like I don't know, maybe you let that sit on your brain for a bit, and you're like, nah, nah, I don't want to. I've been like, oh, why did I get so loud? Ah, yeah. Every time I go, I've been like 4 or 5 times already. I've been going like every single year since like 2021, 2022. Every single time I go, that feeling does not go away. It doesn't. Like, I don't know, it's just so much more comfortable for me there. I don't know why. Like, I mean, there's like so much more to do, and the vibes are just so great. Like if you guys aren't from Hawaii, let me be the first to tell you it's a nice vacation spot. It is. Living here sucks. It fucking sucks. Oh my god. The traffic? You want to talk about LA traffic? Bitch, we might not be that far off. I'm gonna tell you that right now. We the congestion is so bad. Like, first of all, grocery shopping, insanely overpriced. I think last time I checked, we ranked like one of the top for like most expensive groceries. You know how shitty that is? So our groceries are expensive. Our traffic is horrible. Our public transportation is not that much better. Like, and like I don't know, you pay like so much fucking money to live in a fucking box. Like it sucks. Like all of our apartments, unless you're like rich, and you can afford to like live in like one of the like constantly ever being built luxury condos, you're gonna live in squalor. Your apartment is gonna probably not be that nice. As you can see, my apartment is not that nice, but I'm not gonna show you the rest of it. I specifically tried to make right here look as decent as I could until I do my renovations. You guys aren't seeing the rest of it. I'm sorry, but yeah, man. Let it be written in stone that within the next couple of years, I don't care what I have to do. Okay, I don't care if I have to whore myself out in the Castro. I don't care if I have to like be a stripper. I don't care. Let me say this right now. Within the next couple of years, I'm I'm packing up my shit and I'm moving. hmm Because I can't take it anymore. I just feel so much more comfortable. Like I don't know, like ever since I was like in middle school or high school, I don't know what vibe I give off like on camera in videos, but like ever since I was like in middle school and high school, I shit you not. Okay, mind you, these are classmates that I've seen every single day for years. Okay, every single fucking day, I would see these same bitches in the halls in classes. Tell me why? On multiple occasions too, I would be asked, "Are you new here? Where are you from?" And when I would tell them, like, I'm from here, like, I'm from Hawaii, really? Man, I thought you were, like, from California. So, and I wasn't even trying, mind you, that was, like, during my, like, in high school when I was, like, trying extra, extra hard to, like give off like that local boy vibe too. Like I was trying so fucking I was like listening to all the local music. I would try to like dress like super fucking like board shorts, t-shirts, slippers kind of shit because that's what everybody fucking dresses here. I was trying extra hard, okay? To like like fit in with everybody else, even though like it's weird to say that I was trying to fit in and blend in when like I'm literally from here, but I don't know. And then after a certain amount of time, I just gave up. I was like, you know what? It's fine. You know, everybody fucking doesn't even think I'm from here, so why not just why not just dip? You know, it's not like I even want to live here anyway. I don't. Uh, hmm, hmm. Alrighty. Damn. As you can see, I was watching a, a stream in the background while I was waiting for my Wingstop, and I think I'm gonna just take a little breather and come back to this whenever I get hungry again. And I think I'm gonna just chill for the rest of the day. Honestly, I'm not gonna go out. Um, so thank you so much for joining me today. I know all I did was literally just eat food and talk for like an hour, but I hope at least, you know, if you actually stayed around for most of the video, I hope that you found my little yap sesh interesting. Remember, like I said in the very first video I ever posted, I am a bitch that just doesn't shut the fuck up. So I hope you enjoyed spending as much time with me as I enjoyed spending with you. Remember, if you enjoyed the vibe, feel free to stick around because I upload videos every single Monday. That is a promise. Or at least a promise that I will try to keep until my body fully just gives up on me. So yeah, like, subscribe, do all that shit, and I will see you next week. Bye.